Okay, so yesterday we read the story, robots and humans can work together, right? We said that lady, her name was Eleanor Hahn, was writing into the newspaper, right? She was writing to someone that worked at the newspaper, to the editor. And we said that in her opinion, did she believe that robots were a good thing or a bad thing?
She thought
they were a good thing.
A good thing. She said that we could work with them. They would make our lives what?
Easier.
Okay? So that was her opinion. Today we're going to read a little bit different. This title says robots will take professional jobs. So from the very beginning, you know that this person has a different what? Opinion. Out to the side, I want you to write opinion. Okay, Kaya, so
Miss Elena, it also says in the top right corner, I can tell. Oh, you don't know.
oh yeah.
It has that.
Hey, now, yeah. You will, in 4th grade, instead of just saying it's someone's opinion, there's another word that we use also. Sometimes we'll say it's their opinion. Sometimes we'll say it's their,
Point of view.
their claim. Or I say claim.
Claim.
It is what they claim. If I claim something, then I believe it. Like, I claim that Alamo City School is the best school around. That is my opinion. It is my claim. Claim and opinion are the same thing. So under opinion, I want you to write the word claim. So the opinion that you have is your claim. So if I say, what is your claim? I'm asking for your
Opinion.
If I say, what is your opinion? I'm asking for your
Claim.
They're the same thing, okay? So obviously, before we ever read, we see that this person has a different opinion or a different claim than the lady we read about yesterday. I want you to look at the pictures on this page for 6 and 7, and then flip over and take a few minutes to read that graph that's on page 8. And I want you to just tell me, what do you think before we read it? Why do you think this person feels this way? Or what do you think how do you think they're going to support that? They say that they're going to take professional jobs. That's their opinion. How are they going to support it? What do you think, Gavin?
By showing evidence.
Okay, yes, they're going to use evidence, but what is, based on the pictures in the graph, what are some evidence that you predict they might use? What do you think, Gavin?
I've heard of these. They're like robotic surgeons. From the picture on page 7,
Mm-hmm.
I can infer that they're gonna talk about robotic surgery.
Okay, so yesterday we were just talking about people that were what? Like robots were helping when you go shopping. Hey, is that a very special job? No, it's a good job and it takes hard work, but it's not quite as a professional job, right? You don't have to be quite as professional. But to be a doctor, what do you have to do?
Be very smart.
You do have to be very smart.
You have to be careful.
You have to be professional. You have to be careful. But before I ever get to be a doctor, I have to go to
college.
Do I just go to college for a couple years?
No.
Doctors usually go to college for at least 8 years. That's a long time, right?
Yep.
Now, to be an online Amazon, if I work at Amazon, do I have to go to college to do that? No, it's hard work. I have to still be professional to the customers, and it's a good job, and it pays my bills. There's nothing wrong with working at Amazon, but I don't have to go to college, right? So a robot was able to do that job. Now people think, well, doctors went to school for 8 years to do that. If that doctor went to school for 8 years, there's no way a robot could do it. But this, Gavin's predicting that they might say a robot can do it. Now, if you go to school for 8 years, Wyatt, to do this job, and then a robot comes in and does the same job, how does that make you feel?
Unappreciated.
I'm going
Unappreciated? What do you think, Hayes?
like, you're kind of mad that you went to school for so long to learn it, but the robot took your job.
Right? Landon?
I wouldn't really want the robot to do surgery because you never know, like if there's a hydraulic and there's a leak and it gets in your blood, it can easily poison you.
Okay, so they're not quite as
Careful.
careful. They don't know how to solve problems. Like, maybe they know how a surgery should go, but what if a problem happens? Like, what if your heart rate drops? Are they going to know how to solve the problem? I don't know. Okay, those are awesome, good things. All right, Kobe, last one.
I wouldn't have a robot working for me, because if a robot helps somebody, and it might be they might have to cut their stomach open, and there's gonna be a whole lot of stuff in there that they might not be able to touch, because they're like affected because they don't use germs for their hands, because they'll get
Okay,
shocked and
so
stuff.
maybe they're not quite as sterile, not quite as clean. Is that what you're saying? Okay. All right. Gavin, we really got to move on, baby. What is it?
I disagree with what Kobe said, because in this picture, the robot is wearing a special suit so that it doesn't contaminate anything inside of the human.
Okay, number one, you used really good vocabulary. I love that word, contaminate. Contaminate means that you share what? Germs. That's a great vocabulary word, Gavin. Secondly, Gavin really did something amazing. You know what he did? Okay, he made an inference, yes. He looked at the picture and figured something out. He made an inference. But he also was really listening to what Kobe said. He didn't agree with Kobe. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is everybody going to have the same opinion? No. But the first thing he did is he really listened to him. And two, when he disagreed, he was very respectful. He was polite about it. Okay, that is something really important. When we get to talking about opinions, some of these things do get a little emotional. People do get upset or frustrated when they're trying to share their opinion, what they think. But we have to remember to always be respectful and to always listen to someone else's opinion. Even if we disagree with it, it's still a great thing to listen to it. Gavin, I'm giving you a dojo point for that. Really good job. Okay, let's move on. And Yatzel, I told you I'd give you one yesterday, and I forgot. So I'm going to add your name up here, okay? Okay, so this author has a different opinion, a different claim. Obviously, we see that Kobe has a claim or an opinion, and Gavin has a different claim or opinion, okay? So let's read it and then see how we feel as a class, or how you feel individually. And we may have 10 different opinions in here. We'll see. Okay, before we get started, it says, Dear Editor. What did we say an editor was? Okay, writer of the newspaper. Write this on your paper. Wyatt, when you were home yesterday, were you able to look at the lesson that we did yesterday? Perfect, okay. I am going to go on there and grade it. I just haven't. I had a parent-teacher conference last night. Didn't have time. At the newspaper, Now, if you flip over to page 8, you'll see the person writing in, what is their name? Michael Kavanaugh. Okay, so this is, well, yesterday there was a girl. Today there is a boy, okay? So he's writing into the editor, and he's telling the newspaper his opinion or his claim.
They're back to the girl because he has a different opinion.
Could be. It could be that he, is that what you're going to say? It could be that he read Eleanor's yesterday and he's like, I
Disagree.
So he's writing back. It could be. This might be his reply to her. Now, one thing that I want to talk about before we get started reading it. We know that this is going to be his opinion or his claim. We said yesterday that every opinion and every claim needs what? Information to back it up. Evidence. Proof. Right? So when we're reading through this, he says robots are going to take professional jobs. We are going to be looking to see, does he give us information? Does he back it up? Does he support it? Okay? That's what we're looking for. Okay, so read the first paragraph for us, Landon. Everybody's following along, first paragraph. Kaya, sit all the way up.
The image of robots in the workplace that comes to mind today is often of robotic assembly workers in a
Manufacturing
plant. It's a vision of industrial robots moving their metal arms and legs stiffly.
Okay, stop right there. Let's talk about that first. Okay, it says that when the image of robots, so when you imagine a robot, what comes to mind is assembly workers in a manufacturing plant. What is that? What is a manufacturing plant? What is an assembly worker? Where are they talking about? Wyatt?
Like a workplace?
Like what kind of workplace?
Yeah. Maybe a place where they make robots.
Okay. What do you mean when you say a plant? What's another word for that? You're on the right track. If they're making something, what do we call that a lot of times?
Building.
Who can add on to what? Wyatt, you're so on the right track. Bryson?
I would like to add on to Wyatt because I think a manufacturing plant is like a mechanic has different jobs, and some mechanics can make computers. So maybe like professional mechanics that's into computers can make robots.
No. What do you think, Hayes?
I would like to add on to Wyatt because I think manufacturing plant means like a store.
No.
It's like a factory kind of.
A what?
A factory.
A factory. Wyatt said a key word. He said a place where they're making robots. If it's somewhere where you make something, it's not a store, right? The store already has things made. They're selling them. Where are the things made?
In a factory.
Factory. So a lot of times when someone says a factory, another word for factory is a manufacturing plant. Okay? Manufacturing means you're making it. Plant is another word for factory. So a place where they make it is the factory. So here I want us to write factories. So they're saying that a lot of people, when they imagine robots, they imagine factories. They imagine a robot, and there's all the, like if we make cars, there's an assembly line. Here comes a car, and the robot puts a wheel on. That car moves. Next car, robot puts a wheel on. Right? Is that what you imagine in your head?
Mm-hmm.
Some of you paid them doing the same job over and over. If we keep on reading, we might say that they do some other jobs too. So, yes, Ruthie?
It kind of reminds me of like the frozen waffles. Like the robot has to like push the thing down and clamp the lid.
Okay, Landon, keep on reading for us. But in reality, everybody with us? It says, I need everybody here, but in reality.
But in reality, more and more workplace robots do white-collar jobs. The workers they are replacing are not factory workers, they're office workers and professionals.
Okay, so a lot of people think that robots are going to replace people that work at factories. Is that what this person is claiming?
No.
This person claims that they're going to replace what kind of workers? What does they call them?
Professional.
Professional white collar. Okay, Okay, so here it says workplace robots do white-collar jobs. White-collar is another word for professional. Yes, for professional or office workers. A white-collar job, the way that they got that name, when you think about somebody that goes into an office, now not so much now, but used to in the past. When people worked in an office, a lot of times the men wore suits. Like way back in the past, a lot of women stayed home, right? And men went to work. Now we know that's not how it is today, but that's what it was like in the past. And when the men would go to work, a lot of times they had to dress up. Hyacinth, you take your hood off and pick your head up, please. When the men would go to work, to these professional office jobs, they would wear suits. When you wear a suit, you have like a white button-up shirt that goes underneath the suit, right? And it has a white collar. So they called them white-collar jobs because the men would wear shirts with white collars. They were professional jobs. Now, if you worked in a factory, did you wear a suit like that? No, because factories get pretty what? Messy, dirty. So that's how they got that name. White collar, it's a job where you work in an office or you have to be like really professional, dress really nice. And a lot of times you do have to go to college for those types of jobs. They take a little bit of extra training for them. Caius, look at me. If I tell you to pick your head up again, you're going to sign the book. All the way. Put your hands down. Nobody else is laying down. Put your hands all the way down and pick your head up. Yes, Travis.
When it said white collar, I thought that meant like in a different language, white color.
No. Yes.
This picture, it doesn't mean like the robots can have surgery or the robots can surgery done to them.
Okay, it says, let's read it. A surgeon watches a robot perform surgery. So if the robot is performing it, then who's doing it?
I would not let a robot put a needle in there.
Okay, but we're not there yet. Okay. Yes.
When it says white collar, it reminds me like of like a black belt and like karate or something. It would remind me of like a rank, cause
Okay.
like one rank would be brown and another color.
Okay. All right. Last thing, Hayes, we gotta move on.
In the picture of the surgery, if you look behind the dude that's staring at the robot, there's a man working on the heart rate machine.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, I see it.
So in this picture, we see what they were talking about yesterday, where the robots and the humans are what?
Working together.
Working together. Now, is that what this person's going to claim? No. So we're going to see what he's talking about as we read on. But that is a picture of kind of what we read yesterday. Okay, let's read the second paragraph. Read paragraph 2 for us, Caius. So everybody's following along.
In the second half of the 20th century, the world entered the digital age. Many new and important computer and robotic technologies were invented. Some inventions did more than just make work easier. They did work more cheaply than human beings did. As a result, many employees found that it cost much less to mount a robot than pay a human worker's
Salary. Mm-hmm.
benefits. In health insurance and such cases, workers sometimes lost their jobs to machines.
Okay. So this author is claiming the robots are going to take our professional jobs, right? That's their opinion, their claim. Every claim, every opinion has to have support. They have to have evidence. In this paragraph, what is some evidence that supports what he said? That they would take professional jobs. If you had to underline one sentence that said proof for them taking professional jobs, what would it be? Where's his proof? Caius, put that bottle down. Gavin, you need to be looking for this. What's one sentence we could underline that would be proof? He said that robots are going to take professional jobs. Where's one sentence down here that would be proof for that? Jerry?
It should.
Okay, Travis?
In paragraph 1, it says, but in reality, more and more workplace robots do white collar jobs.
Okay, that's true. But that's in paragraph 1. We're looking at paragraph 2. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's fine. Look, I now have the right one. It has sparks on it.
I'm so sorry. Okay. What do you think in paragraph 2? You were right. We could underline that and say, if in reality more and more workplace robots do white collar jobs. But in paragraph 2, where's some proof?
It says right here, they did work more cheaply than human beings did.
Okay, that's true. But does that tell me that they took my job? They did the work cheap, but does that tell me that they took a job?
No.
Where's the sentence that tells me that they're actually taking jobs? Stella?
In paragraph 2, at the bottom, says in such cases, workers sometimes lost their jobs to machines.
Hey, this is his proof. Everybody underline that.
I had it underlined, but then I erased it for some reason.
Hey, he says workers sometimes lost their
Jobs.
Now, why? If this workers lost their jobs, that is what that's what actually happened. Below this on tray, what happened? You remember we talked about yesterday? If it's what happened, that's called the what? Effect. So beside that on tray, effect. I'm so glad y'all remember yesterday's lesson. You're making my heart happy. Okay, so what happened is they took people's jobs. That's the effect. Now, why? He says that there are some reasons why people were were wanting robots instead of human employees. Gavin, what I have on the board needs to be on your paper. What are some reasons? He says that workers lost their jobs. Why? What were some reasons here that he said that they were losing their jobs to the robots? Bryson, give me one.
Some inventions did more than just make work easier. They did work more cheaply than human beings did.
Okay, so they made the work easier and they did the work more cheaply. So if a robot can do the work easier and a robot can do the work cheaper, so because they can do it easier and they can do it cheaper, I lose my job. They can do it cheaper and easier. That's the reason. That's why I lost my job. Okay, so over here we're going to write why or cause. Okay, there's another reason that some people lost their jobs that he talks about there. They did the work easier and they did the work cheaper. There's something else there that he talks about. So I should say everybody look in that paragraph to see if they can find it. Ruthie, what do you think?
It says, many know important computers and robotic technologies were.
Okay. Yes, that is one reason, because they invented this technology, right? But is just inventing the technology going to make me lose my job? Huh? What?
Later on, it could.
Okay, later on it could, yes. But why would it cause me to lose my job? Okay, you're on the right track. There's something else in that paragraph that tells me why they would rather have a robot. What do you think, Braylon?
Paragraph 2 says, as a result, many employees found that it costs less to maintain a robot than to pay for the robot.
Yes, when it says as a result, everybody see that? I want you to circle as a result.
Transition word.
It is a transition word, but if it is the result of something, then it is the,
Effect.
if it's the result, it's going to be the effect. So the cause is that they've made these robots, right? Because they've made these robots, now employees know that it costs much less to pay a human worker's salary, benefits, and health insurance. So, for me, when I work here at Alamo, okay, as a teacher, I get paid just a regular paycheck, right? But then I also have to have health insurance. Y'all know what health insurance is? Health insurance is like insurance the way that you go to the doctor, okay? So your job pays part of your insurance, not all of it, but part of your insurance. Then also some of your benefits. When it says benefits, that talks about like your retirement plan. So when you get older and you want to retire after you work so long, your business, your job pays for part of that. Not all of it, but part of it. So if they have to pay me a salary and my health insurance and my benefits into my retirement plan, or they could just buy a couple $1,000, $10,000 for a robot. Which one's going to be cheaper?
The robot.
The robot. Even if that's $10,000, because for a human, for you to have like a
Master's degree.
yes, for a master's degree and those kind of things, a good job for a human pays $30,000-$40,000 a year. Which sounds like a lot to you guys, but it's really not a lot of money when you talk about buying a house and cars and all that kind of stuff. But when you talk about those kinds, and some I'm just saying that's kind of where they start out, okay?
They add.
But there are jobs where you can make $60,000, $70,000, $80,000, $100,000, okay? Well, don't tell how much your mom makes. That's your mom's business. But what I'm saying is, if a human costs $30,000-$40,000, plus you gotta pay health insurance, plus you gotta pay benefits, that's a lot of money, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where if I pay $10,000 for a robot and I don't have to pay for insurance, I don't have to pay for all that, which one's cheaper in the long run?
The robot.
The robot. So if the robot's cheaper and they're making the work easier, if I own that business, I may say, oh, well, I just want to hire robots. So in that instance, they would be taking someone's job. So he says they're going to take jobs. Did he give you proof for that?
Yes.
Yeah, he did. He said that they are cheaper. You don't have to pay them benefits. You don't have to you don't have to pay them health insurance. So therefore, they're taking people's jobs. All right, let's look at paragraph 2. 3, sorry. Paragraph 3. Read paragraph 3 for us. Briley, didn't you just read? Okay, read for us, Briley.
At first,
The majority.
of lost jobs were blue collar or
Manual.
manual labor.
Okay, so what do you think those are? Blue collar or manual labor? What do you think those kinds of jobs are based on what we've already talked about, Landon?
Manual labor is something like if you do it yourself, like you could tell.
Okay, that's true, but what have we talked about before? White collar or what? What was the other types of jobs where you work at?
Professional job.
Factories. That was the other type, right? Okay, so if they're talking about blue collar, we know white collar means an office job, right? Professional job. If they say blue collar, that's not going to be an office. That's more like a factory, okay? So at first, majority of jobs that robots took on were those that were in a factory of blue collar. Then it changed to white collar, those office and professional jobs. All right, Riley, keep going. White collar, everybody's with us.
White collar or professional jobs are thought to be safe, form replacement. No one thought a robot could do specialized professional work better than a human. However, technology improves quickly, and recent technology advancements have
Begun.
to
Straighten.
threaten some white-collar jobs. Some tasks that only doctors can perform can now be done by machines.
Okay. So in this paragraph, they talk about how robots are taking whose jobs? Professionals and doctors. Doctors are a type of professional job, right? Now, if we were looking here, what do you think would be a cause? What you just said that they're taking whose jobs?
The white collar and blue collar. The white collar.
Specifically, who's a specific person whose job they're taking?
The white collar.
Doctors. Okay, so right here it says some tasks that only doctors could perform can now be done by machines, right?
Right.
That is what is
The cause.
happening. No.
That's the effect.
The effect, yes.
Cause is when they make
So what's happened is they are taking doctors' jobs. Caius, get it on your paper. Okay, now why are they taking doctors' jobs? Where is our cause? Where's our cause? What is this sentence we can underline for the cause?
Does it have to be in a certain paragraph?
It needs to be in that paragraph. Paragraph 3. What is the cause? We know that what's happening is they're taking doctors' jobs. Why? What's caused that, Alyssa?
Technology improves quickly.
There you go. Technology improves quickly. When technology improves, like Ruthie was saying earlier, just because they make a robot doesn't mean it's going to take my job, right? But if they improve it and keep making it better and better, then later on down the road, it could. Okay, so if technology is improving, that is the cause. That is why. Technology has gone better. When they first made robots, they were taking factory jobs. No one would have ever dreamed that they would have been doing surgery. But now, technology's gotten better and better and better, and that has made doctors lose jobs. So the cause is technology's getting better. The effect, what's really happened, is that doctors have lost their jobs. Yes, Alyssa?
Hayes and Braylon are like throwing erasers everywhere.
I'm not doing the
But like Hayes has been flicking them off his desk.
Okay.
No, this time I had it on my highlighter. I was doing this.
Okay, you said this time, so that means at some point you are probably playing with him, correct? Okay, you need to make a decision right now that you're going to pay attention and get on task. Because not only are you disrupting Hayes, you're not on task, Braylon, you're not on task, you're disrupting each other, but you're also disrupting everyone around you. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I know both of you are participating, so I understand that you are not behind. But if you continue to play, you may get there. And that's not what we want, okay? You with me? Okay. All right. So, they're taking doctors' jobs, and the reason is because the technology has improved. So, we've talked about cause and effect here. But this is also some of this author's what?
Opinion.
Claim.
Information.
Information that does what?
Backs it
Backs
up.
Backs up. His opinion is they're going to take professional jobs. Can he prove that?
Yeah.
Yes, he can prove it because doctors have actually lost their
Jobs.
So he had an opinion, and this is his
Information.
information, his text evidence, his support, his proof, his we wrote proof over here. Let's use another word here. This will be his support. Support and proof are the same thing. If I say, "What's your opinion?" and you say, "Well, robots are going to take jobs," and I say, "Well, what's your support for that?" Then I want to know what is your proof, what is your evidence. Okay, so he's using cause and effect as his proof. Okay, when he tells us that doctors have lost their job, that is his proof to support his claim, his opinion. Yes, Wyatt?
If a robot took my job, then I would break it and say it broke,
he
and I didn't do it.
Yeah, that's what I thought this doctor was going to do in the picture because he was looking really mad at
doesn't look happy, does he?
them. No, he doesn't.
All right, let's look at the next paragraph, paragraph 4. Read paragraph 4 for us, Wyatt. Everybody's following along.
For instance, robot assisted surgery is growing in
Popularity.
Once a surgical robot is properly trained, it can determine how to best conduct an operation. Surgeons will still be required to set up, but robots can reform much of the procedure. In addition, computer programs are able to
Diagnose.
diagnose certain illness better than a human can. This is because these programs can assess information more quickly than humans.
Okay, so when we look at paragraph 4, what is happening there? We know in paragraph 3 that doctors have lost their job. What is one reason, or why are they losing their job? What do they say in this next paragraph? Nadia?
It says this is because these programs. It says this is because these programs can access information more quickly than humans.
Okay, everybody underline that. So if okay, I can't say that without giving you the answer. Okay, underline that, and we're coming back to it. Okay. It says this is because programs can access information more quickly than humans. So if it says because, this is a
Cause and effect.
cause and effect. But which one? If it says because, it's the cause. So beside this, I want you to write cause. This is why something is happening. Because they can access information. A robot has all this information inside their computer brain, right? That us humans don't have. If we wanted that information, we might have to spend a little bit more time to look it up, right? So they can do things a little more quickly than we can. That's the cause. Now, what is the effect to this? Because they can access that information so quickly, what are they able to do? What's happening? Because they have all that information so quick, what happens? It's in that same paragraph. I'm gonna give us a little bit more extra time. Everybody put your finger on the sentence that you think would be your effect. Because some of us are waiting on our friends to answer it for us, I think. Not quite. That is something that's happening, but that's not quite what we're talking about here. Not quite. Not quite. Not quite. What did you say? Sorry, yes. Sorry. Yes. That's not too bad. Yep. Not quite. Great. A lot of you underline things that are happening, okay? Like, you might have underlined where it says surgeons will required to be set up, but the robots are going to perform the surgery. Is that true?
Yes.
Yes. Is that something that's happening?
Yes.
Yes. So is it an effect?
No. Yes.
Yeah. If it's something that's happening, it is an effect. But it's not the effect that goes with this cause. Okay? If we have a cause here, that effect is going to be pretty close to it. Because they can access the information, what are they able to do? Just because I have the information, does that mean I can perform surgery?
No.
No. They can perform surgery, but that's not exactly what it's talking about when it says they can access information. Because they have all this information in their computer little brains, these robots, what can they do? What should we underline as our effect? Nadia?
It's right above the cause. It says, in addition, computer programs are able to diagnose certain illnesses better than a human can.
Yeah. Because a robot has a computer with all this information, if you were to tell that robot, okay, I feel like this, I have headaches, I'm tired all the time, my back hurts, they would put those things in their brain, they say, okay, you have blah, blah, blah. They can do it a lot faster because they have more
Technology,
more information. If you told a doctor that, then a doctor would say, okay, well, you might have this. Let's try this. Okay, come back in 2 weeks. If that doesn't work, well, right? Because it's not quite as
easy.
easy. Yeah, it's just not. So, because this is the effect. Up beside that, we're going to write effect. This is what's happening. Hiya, sit with me, baby. Did you write it? You wrote effect? Fine. So the computer programs are diagnosing people. They're telling people, hey, this is what you have. The reason they're doing that is because they have all that information. That's the cause and effect. Now, some of you were up here where you were saying they were doing surgeries and operations, and those are things that are happening. Those are effects. But that's not where all that information comes from. When you're talking about cause and effect, the cause and effect are going to be pretty close together. You're not going to have a cause here and an effect way over there. That relationship's going to be pretty close. Okay? So when you're looking like on a test, if it says, what's the cause of this, they're going to be pretty close together. Okay? Here, there was like one sentence in between them, but they're still pretty close, right? Okay? Yes, Bryson.
I don't think robots should take professional jobs, but I think they should they could take jobs at different places like factories, right? They could take like doctors' jobs.
So that is your
Claim.
Yeah. Who agrees with him? Who disagrees with him? Okay. Yes.
My dad works at a place where where like those power things that connect the wires to it.
Okay.
He makes those. Well, helps make them, and you have to carry really heavy stuff.
A breaker?
And
A breaker?
I don't know. And you have to carry really heavy stuff, so that robot would have to be strong but I think the arms would break because it's really heavy stuff.
It's possible, yeah. All right, Landon, last thing. We gotta move on.
My aunt, she works at.
Go ahead.
She's a nurse at the Jackson Hospital, and my granddaddy had an that motorcycle accident, and she helped him when he was in the hospital.
Awesome. And that was a really cool relationship. A robot wouldn't be able to have that relationship with us. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, thank you. Sorry, Lena. No, you're fine. Okay, last paragraph. Y'all flip over to page 8. All right, read the very last paragraph for us, Braylon. Everybody's following along. Very last paragraph. Braylon, just a minute. Let's let Lillian get her stuff. All right, everybody's on the last paragraph.
Technology was made life easier and better in new ways. However, as technology
Hold on just a minute, Braylon. We're going to have to start over because Gavin's not with us. He's just looking around while everybody else is working. Okay, go ahead.
Technology has made life easier and better in new ways. However, as technology advances, machines can do increasingly complex jobs. The lower cost of machines and computer programs means they could eventually block people from taking these jobs. Even white-collar jobs could be completely replaced. Some people think that humans and technology can exist together in the workplace. Others think that as new technology develops, humans will no longer be needed.
Hey, what do you think here would be a cause and effect situation? Cause and effect situation. What do you think, Wyatt?
I feel like the effect could be other things that new technology develops. Humans will no longer be needed.
Okay, so let's look at that sentence as a whole. Others think that as new technology develops, so the technology is going to get bigger, better. Humans will no longer be needed. Which part of that sentence is the effect? Which part is what will happen, they think, his opinion? Nadia? Humans will no longer be needed. That is the effect. That is what he thinks will happen. Why does he think that will happen? What is his cause? What is the cause? Why does he think that that will happen? Wait till I see some more hands. I think son, you're still writing. Why does he think that will happen, Gavin?
Because already a lot of jobs are being replaced.
Okay, very true. Very true. But in that sentence, what does he say? Why does he think it will happen?
Because technology can develop more.
As the technology develops, as it gets better, it's going to take people's jobs. That's what he says. So if that is what he believes, then this is the cause. This is why it's happening. Because the technology is getting better. Okay? Hey. Okay, let me just throw this out there. You guys. There are jobs where robots work, okay? But most places cannot afford the robots. These robots some robots, are $10,000. Some may be. But like those robots in hospitals, those cost millions of dollars. So even though you have to pay a human a lot of money, for most jobs at this point, a robot costs a lot more. So I'm not saying that I agree or that I disagree because I want you guys to think your own opinion. But I'm saying this because I don't want you to worry about it. This is a fictional newspaper article, right? This is someone's what? Opinion. So do not worry about it. Remember, when people have opinions, a lot of times they're trying to persuade you. They're trying to make you worry about it. Don't you worry about it. At this point, in our life, we're not going to have many robots around here. Okay? A lot of the businesses around here can't afford robots. Okay? Yes, Sherry.
In my opinion, I want a robot to take my job on school.
I got my eyes on you, Jerry. Okay, class.
Yes.
So if I ask you, what is the text structure of this passage? What is the text structure? Do you remember yesterday we talked about your text structure could be problem and
Solution.
Now here, did he give you a problem?
Yes.
Yes, robots are taking
Over.
Did he give you a solution?
No.
So it cannot be problem and solution. Compare and contrast. Did he take two things and tell you how they were alike or different?
Yes.
No.
Well.
Okay, did he say that humans can do this and robots can do this? A human can't do this, but a robot can do this. Is that what he's trying to tell you?
Talking all about what robots can do more than humans.
Okay, but is it, when we were looking at it and we were underlining things, were we saying this is how they're alike, this is how they're different, this is how they're alike, this is how they're different? No, because that's not what he was talking about. He was talking about they can do this, so something's happened. Their technology is better, so people are losing their jobs. So he's not telling how they're alike and different. He's doing something else, right? Okay. So not problem solution, not compare and contrast. Description. Did he take one thing and tell us all about it? No. Because he does tell us about several different kinds of robots. He told us about blue-collar robots, white-collar robots. He told us about ones that do surgery. So he didn't take one thing and describe all of it, okay? Not going to be description. Chronological order or sequence. Did he take something and tell us the steps? No. Did he take something in history and tell us the order? No. What did we underline all throughout this? Everybody together. So your text structure, what he did is he told you what happened and then he told you why. So if he tells you what happened and he told you why it happened, that is cause and effect. So at the top, or out to the side over here, I want you to write text structure, cause and effect. If they tell you a problem and how to fix it, that's problem and solution. If they tell you something that's happened and why, like he's telling us a problem, but he didn't tell us how to fix it. He told us why it's happening. If he tells you why, then that is cause and effect. Okay? Yes.
I think that robots can work assigned by humans, but not like just do their whole job. If a robot took your job, then you wouldn't, be able to do it, and then you might not get paid.
Absolutely. Yes.
And you wouldn't have
Kobe.
If we have robots at this school, I will make it do my work.
You would. Hayes.
It would know every problem.
In my opinion, I think that robots and humans should work together because you could get a day off and the robot would work it, then you could work one job and you could still get paid, but then the robots could work too.
Okay. Yeah. Could be. Okay. I will listen to some of these other things. We gotta move on. Okay. Sure. Okay. I'm giving you a piece of notebook paper. This is your job for. Oh, I need it on this board. Sorry. No, you need it. Okay, I'm giving you a piece of notebook paper. On your notebook paper, this is what you're going to write.
What?
Is we still gonna write our
After.
Okay, this is your job.
Blue bananas.
You ready, Wyatt? This is your job. I want you to write the author's claim. Remember, the author's claim is what?
His opinion.
His opinion. So you write in a complete sentence, what is this author's claim? What is this author's opinion? Okay? So you might say, the author claims. Blah, 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 blah. Okay.
You have to change it.
Okay, whatever.
You have to do it like this.
She did the race one.
Yeah, because she did it.
Okay, so you're going to say the author claims blah, 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 and you're going to tell me their what?
Opinion.
Opinion. No? Not yet. Just their what? Opinion. What is their opinion? That's the first thing, okay? The second thing you're going to do is write 2 sentences. How many?
2.
Write 2 sentences that explain the author's support for their claim. So you're going to tell me what is the author's opinion. We talked about that, right? Then you give me 2 sentences that would tell me their support. Why do they have that opinion? And we underlined and talked about both of these when we read it together. So this 1 is to see if you're paying attention, and 2, it'll tell me who's really getting this and who's still having a little bit of trouble, okay? So it is not for a grade. I'm not putting it in the grade book because this is a new skill, but this is like your exit ticket that you do for math so that I know who needs a little bit more help. So I do need you to do your best on it, even though it's not for a grade, so that I really know who's getting it and who's not. Deal? Okay. And I want you to write in complete sentences, guys. In 4th grade, we've got to start getting used to complete sentences. Okay? All right, I pass down a piece of paper. Go ahead and get started, and we'll take a bathroom break while you're doing it, okay? And that's why I told you not to put your book up, because you obviously will need your text for this. Yes.